Macmillan Audio presents A Good School by Richard Yates. Read for you by Kristoffer Tabori. Forward. As a young man in upstate New York, my father studied to be a concert tenor. He had a fine, disciplined voice that combined great power with great tenderness. Hearing him sing remains the best of my early memories. I think he sang professionally a few times, in places like Syracuse and Binghamton and Utica, but he wasn't able to make a career of it. Instead, he became a salesman. I imagine he joined the General Electric Company in Schenectady as a delaying action, in order to have a few dollars coming in while he continued to seek concert engagements, but before very long the company swallowed him up. By the time he was 40, when I was born, he had long since come down to the city and settled into the job he would hold for the rest of his life, that of an assistant regional sales manager for the Mazda lamp division, light bulbs. People still asked him to sing at social gatherings. "Danny boy!" seemed to be the popular favorite among request numbers. And sometimes he did, but more and more often in later years he would decline. If pressed, he would take a backward step and make a little negative wave of the hand, smiling and frowning at the same time. All that, he seemed to say, Danny boy, the years upstate, singing itself, all that was in the past. His office in the General Electric building was barely big enough to contain a desk and a framed photograph of my older sister and myself as small children. It was in that cubicle that he earned however much money it took to send my mother what she asked for every month, year after year. They had been divorced almost as long as I could remember. He greatly loved my sister. I think that must have been the main reason for his unflagging generosity to us. But he and I, after I was 11 or so, seemed always bewildered by each other. There seemed to be an unspoken agreement between us that in the dividing process of the divorce, I had been given over to my mother. There was pain in that assumption, for both of us, I would guess, though I can't speak for him. Yet there was an uneasy justice in it, too. Much as I might wish it otherwise, I did prefer my mother. I knew she was foolish and irresponsible, that she talked too much, that she made crazy emotional scenes over nothing and could be counted on to collapse in a crisis. But I had come to suspect, dismally, that my own personality might be built along much the same lines. In ways that were neither profitable nor especially pleasant, she and I were a comfort to one another. The art of sculpture and the idea of aristocracy had always appealed to her equally, and so, after the divorce, she became a sculptor who longed to have rich people admire her work and accept her into their lives. Both her artistic and her social ambitions were forever thwarted, often in humiliating ways, but there were occasional, tantalizing moments when everything seemed to be coming together nicely for her. One of those times occurred in May or June of 1941, when I was 15. For the past year or so, she'd conducted a small weekly sculpture class in her studio, which was also the living room of our Greenwich Village apartment, and one of her students was a rich girl of exceptional beauty and charm, named Jane. I think Jane must have romanticized my mother as a struggling artist, as many people seem to do. I did, too. In any case, upon dropping out of the sculpture class to get married, she invited us to attend the wedding. It was a real society wedding, held outdoors on Jane's parents' enormous lawn in Westchester County, and we'd never seen anything like it. The groom was almost as stunning as the bride, a young naval officer in a flawless white uniform with a choker collar and stiff black and gold epaulets. There was an orchestra. There was a dance floor on a specially built platform trimmed with white canvas, and there were what seemed hundreds of lovely girls who danced with their partners as soon as...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?